Hey guys, it's Alexis, aka The Salt Reader, and I'm here today to do the book adaptation wishlist tag, and this was originally created by She Might Be Monica, so I will leave her video down below, and basically this is just which books would you like to see adapted into various different medias, and I will go ahead and get into it. The first question is, which book would you like to see adapted into a movie, and for that one I'm going to choose I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I think that the story and the plot and the subject matter in this book really lends itself well to a movie because it's like the plot really doesn't need to be expounded on, it's a standalone contemporary, and that really lends itself to just an hour and a half, 2-hour movie. But I also think that there's some really cool like graphic stuff that you can do on the screen with like the excerpts from the grandmother's journal and Jude scenes, and then like Noah's mind painting that he does. Like there could be some really cool graphics that you do on the screen, like text and pictures. And I'm almost kind of imagining it to be like the movie What If with Daniel Radcliffe, if any of you have seen that. That's kind of like what I'm imagining this would be like as a movie, and I love that movie, so I think that I would really love this as a movie as well. The next one is TV show, and this is the only one for which that I have two answers. So the first one I'm going to mention is The Raven Boys, or The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. I think this one lends itself really well to a TV show style because this could easily be like a 6-season TV show, because there's a lot of stuff that happens that can be expounded on in a TV show setting. Like there's a whole bunch of like Cade's Water stuff that happens and Kavinsky stuff that can be expounded on into 4 or 5 episodes of a TV show. And there could be a lot of just character episodes that just focus on character and character development. And I just think that the aesthetics and the creepy tone of this novel lends itself well to a TV show, almost kind of like Hemlock Grove from Netflix, and so which is a book adaptation as well. And so I just think that this would be very successful in a TV show setting where they can expound on this world beyond what Maggie Stiefvater herself even did. The next TV show adaptation I would like to see, the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I think this lends itself well to a TV series because there are 4 books out right now, and there's about to be the 5th one, and this is such a large world with such an interesting and intricate cast of characters. I think if a studio like Netflix picked this one up, it would be the best, because Netflix could make it as gory and bloody and sexy as the story itself actually is, and they wouldn't have to cut any of that out. And so there could be absolute badass fight scenes, but there can also be like these beautiful and immaculate like romance scenes. And so I think this one can almost be like a mix between like Marco Polo with the setting and costuming and stuff, and also like Hemlock Grove with the fantasy elements, and I just think that this would be super successful. Next one is, which book would you like to see adapted into a cartoon? And for this one I'm going to choose Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. The reason I chose Red Queen is because I think the story and the fantasy element of this particular story lends itself well to animation in the same style of like The Legend of Korra and Avatar, because when you have people who have like fire abilities and electric abilities, it's really hard to create those on screen in a realistic way without it looking really cheesy. But when you have an animation style doing it, it's very successful because it's so much easier to animate that stuff. And so for that reason, I think that this would be a great cartoon, and I think that it would be exciting, and it would be more adult in the same way that like The Legend of Korra is. And I just actually, those particular people, would you please pick this up and make it a cartoon, because it would be fantastic. The next one is graphic novel, and for that one I'm going to choose The Shades of Magic by V.E. Schwab, and my answer for this one is pretty similar to my answer for Red Queen. I just think this type of story and the fantasy elements in this type of story with the magical dimensions and the different types of Londons and the different magic and the Antari themselves, it just lends itself well to a non-person, like an animated style. And so I think that this would be a lot better as a graphic novel, because that kind of stuff would be so successful to see drawn out, because you'd be like, oh, okay, well I don't have any questions about whether or not this person is manipulating fire or water and that kind of thing. And I think that actually the way that Victoria Schwab writes her characters actually lends itself pretty well to a graphic novel style. So I would absolutely love to see this as a graphic novel, and to see Kel and his beautiful face, and Rye and Holland and Lila and all of them in a graphic novel, I would be so excited. The next one is which book would you like to see as a play, and for that one I'm going to choose Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Eliade. And the reason I chose this one is because this story is powerful, but it's kind of simple, and it has a very small cast, and the setting is relatively small for it. And for that reason, I could see this being done easily in a stage adaptation, and I see it being done very minimalistic. But I see this being done where it's like you only have like 3 or 4 settings, and it's kind of just very continuous. And I think a minimalistic setting for it lends itself well because the story is so powerful, so like a juxtaposition between like the powerful dialogue and the powerful acting as opposed to like a minimalistic clothing and setting, I feel like would just really drive home the beautiful message of this book. I think it lends itself well to being an amazing stage adaptation. And finally, it's which book would you like to see made into a musical, and for that one I'm going to choose Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. The reason I think that this lends itself well to being a really good musical is because of the Simon Snow bits, because over the course of the musical you can alternate between Kath singing songs about her anxiety and her English class and falling in love with Levi and all of the other emotional stuff that she's going through with like alternating those with these Simon Snow parts and having all of the Simon Snow bits being told as a musical. And I think that that would be such a fascinating like alternation throughout the entire musical. And then there's a lot of interesting things you could do with like changing the setting out for the Simon Snow bits, but you can also have Kath like sitting in the corner like imagining it all being done. And I just think that it would be a very fun and quirky musical, but it would still have all of the really powerful messages that Fangirl itself has, and I just think that the story itself, the whimsy of it, really lends itself to being a fantastic musical. You guys should let me know down below what book you guys think would be a fantastic musical, because I love musical theater, and that was the most interesting question to me, and so I would love to see you guys' answers, but I will see you guys all soon with another video. Bye!